If you live in Australia and you need hearing aids, these are the only 5 brands that you should consider. Hey guys, Dr. Cliff Olson, founder of the Dr. Cliff AUD YouTube channel, and in this video, I'm talking about the best hearing aid brands you can get in Australia. Since 2017, I've had the opportunity to review hundreds of different hearing aids on my channel. During this process, I've been able to identify several different hearing aid brands that make some really high quality hearing aid technology, and a bunch of different brands that make really bad hearing aids that I wouldn't recommend even if they gave them away. The problem is, unless you're inside of the industry, you really have no idea which one of these hearing aid brands are really good and which one of these hearing aid brands are complete rubbish. Now, I have spent most of my time reviewing different brands inside of the United States, not inside of Australia. The good news is all of the best brands in the United States are the same brands that you can find in Australia. That's why I want to help you understand which hearing aid brand should make your shortlist for consideration if you're going to be treating your hearing loss. But do me a favor, if you live in Australia and you're already using hearing aids, let me know what brand you're using down in the comment section. While you're at it, if you want me to make some more videos specifically for the Australian hearing aid market, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so you get a notification every single time I publish a new video. Now, the biggest reason I wanted to make this video talking about the brand of hearing aids you can get in Australia is that Australia has something called white labeling. This makes it significantly more difficult for you to know which hearing aids you're actually using and if those hearing aids are appropriate for you, and on top of that, it makes it much more difficult to get those hearing aids serviced. Why? Because nobody has a clue which hearing aids they are. That's why I recommend that you never buy a hearing aid in Australia unless it has one of these 5 different name brands literally stamped on it. That being said, let's start with the first hearing aid brand that you should consider if you live in Australia, and that hearing aid brand is Oticon. Oticon is a hearing aid brand that is owned by Demant, which is a Danish hearing aid company. It was founded by Hans Demant, who started the company in 1904 to help his wife who had hearing loss. Since then, Oticon has grown into Demant's premium hearing aid offering, and they are the second largest hearing aid manufacturer in the world now. Oticon hearing aids are on the cutting edge of hearing aid technology. In fact, they were the first hearing aid that was released with a deep neural network using artificial intelligence to help separate speech from background noise. Oticon hearing aids are also some of the best hearing aids to treat a high-frequency hearing loss with, and they are really customizable because they have 24 different adjustment bands. If you're looking for a hearing aid brand that has some really cool features, Oticon has got you covered there too. Their hearing aids are completely rechargeable, and they even have the new form of Bluetooth called LE Audio. LE Audio Bluetooth is a complete game changer because it lowers the battery drain from your hearing aids while you're using it, and the signal quality is substantially better than Bluetooth Classic or Bluetooth Low Energy. It also gives you access to a feature called Auracast Broadcast Audio, which allows you to stream audio from a public venue directly into your hearing aids. Not only is Oticon one of the best hearing aid brands that you can find in Australia, but it is one of the best hearing aid brands you can find around the world. Now, before I get to the second brand on this list, it's very important that you understand that any of these brands that I'm talking about in this video are only good if you get them fit and programmed by a hearing care professional who follows best practices. Best practices are a long list of considerations and procedures, including speech and noise testing, test box measures, real ear measurement, and validated outcome measures, to name a few. Unfortunately, if you live in Australia, it's really difficult to find a hearing care professional who follows these best practices. That's why I expanded my HearingUp network from the United States into Australia to make it much easier for you to find an excellent hearing care professional who follows these best practices. All you have to do is go to hearingup.com/Australia to find a list of vetted hearing care professionals who are committed to following these best practices so you can get the most out of whatever hearing aid brand you choose to use. Once you find an Australian HearingUp provider near you, just shoot them a message or give them a call so they can help you identify the best hearing aids for you and, more importantly, set those hearing aids up to maximize your performance. That being said, the second hearing aid on this list of best hearing aid brands you can get in Australia is Starkey. Starkey is a United States hearing aid brand that was founded by Bill Austin back in the 1970s. Known around the world as one of the best hearing aid brands for custom hearing aid products, it really took off when United States President Ronald Reagan started wearing their hearing aids back in 1983. Since then, it has grown to the largest private hearing aid manufacturing company in the entire world. Besides excellent custom hearing aid products, they also have have excellent receiver and canal and power behind the ear hearing aids. Starkey has also leveraged the power of artificial intelligence to help their hearing aids perform better in background noise as long as they're set up properly by your hearing care professional. If you like using an app with your hearing aids, Starkey has a lot of different customizations that you can do inside of their Starkey app. Of course, if you want your hearing aids to function more automatically, Starkey hearing aids will let you do that too. Point being, if you live in Australia and your hearing care professional dispenses Starkey hearing aids, then they're working with one of the best brands in the world. The third brand on this list of best hearing aids you can find in Australia is Beltone. Beltone is a brand owned by GN, which is also headquartered in Denmark. In the United States, Resound is the more popular brand, but in Australia, Beltone is the brand you're looking for. Beltone makes some really impressive hearing aids, especially if you're looking for extremely small rechargeable hearing aids that are loaded with a ton of great features. If you want to hear better in background noise, Beltone is an amazing brand of hearing aid to use. If you want to use LE audio Bluetooth, Beltone's got you covered there too. If you want to have access to excellent accessories to support the benefit you get from your Beltone hearing aids, guess what? They have those as well. The app that Beltone uses for their hearing aids is one of the best apps out there because it is extremely stable and easy to use. If you're more interested in an in-the-ear hearing aid, Beltone has some really cool-looking rechargeable in-the-ear hearing aids that allow you to stream as well. The point being, if you live in the United States, you may want to strongly consider Resound hearing aids, but if you live in Australia, you're going to want to strongly consider Beltone hearing aids as well. Now, Australia is one of the biggest viewership countries on my YouTube channel, which is exactly why I'm making videos for you guys. So if you have any questions or topics that you want me to cover for the Australian market, let me know down in the comment section. Until then, let's get on with the fourth hearing aid brand that is considered one of the best in Australia, and that hearing aid brand is called Phonak. Phonak is owned by Sonova, which is based out of Switzerland, and Sonova also owns Unitron. Now, both the Phonak and Unitron brands are really popular in the United States, but inside of Australia, you really want to be focused on Phonak. When it comes to premium quality hearing aids, Phonak is one of the absolute best, and expect to pay a little bit more of a premium if you live in Australia for these hearing aids. There is a reason why Sonova is one of the largest hearing aid manufacturers in the entire world, and Phonak is one of the main reasons why. Not only are Phonak hearing aids some of the best when it comes to build quality and durability, but they are also one of the best when it comes to using artificial intelligence to separate speech from background noise. Phonak has some hearing aids that have two processing chips, and one of those chips being fully dedicated to separating speech and background noise using a deep neural network, and it works extremely well. Phonak is also one of the best hearing aids when it comes to Bluetooth streaming, since it uses Bluetooth Classic, which allows you to have access to different devices like smartphones, dumb phones, tablets, laptops, and even desktop computers. They use Bluetooth version 5.3, which means that these hearing aids will be able to be upgraded to the LE audio form of Bluetooth. They're also great hearing aids for extremely complex cases of hearing loss because they have a ton of different customizations and features to pretty much handle any type of hearing loss you throw at them. If you want a hearing aid that functions almost completely automatically, that's exactly what the AutoSense OS operating system is designed to do. If you're at home in a quiet situation, it'll put you into a calm situation program. You hop in the car to go drive to the store, it's going to put you into a speech and car program. You get into the store and it's really noisy in there, it'll put you into a speech and noise program. So basically your hearing aids are always in the right settings for you without you having to lift a finger. Now I could probably talk for another 20 minutes about all the different features and benefits of Phonak hearing aids, but now that you know that they're a really good brand that you can find in Australia, I think it's time to move on to hearing aid number 5 on this list, which is Widex. Widex is owned by WS Audiology, which, you guessed it, is based out of Denmark as well. WS Audiology also happens to own Signia, which is a really good hearing aid brand, but if you live in Australia, the brand that you're looking for is Widex. Widex is extremely unique because it is the fastest processing hearing aid in the entire world. This extremely fast signal processing often results in really high sound quality. The Widex brand is also really well known for music appreciation. If you happen to be an audiophile or even a professional musician, the Widex brand of hearing aids are excellent for music. And if you suffer from tinnitus, a lot of hearing care professionals will use the Zen fractal tones inside of the Widex brand of hearing aids to help reduce your perception of your tinnitus. Their hearing aids are also rechargeable and they have access to Bluetooth, so you don't have to give up a lot of the basic features that you would find inside of all of these other brands as well. So if you want a hearing aid brand that has really lightning fast sound processing, or you want them to be really good for music or really good for tinnitus, then Widex is the brand you're looking for in Australia. And there you go. Those are the 5 best brands of hearing aids that you can find in Australia. And if you choose to go outside of those 5 brands, do it at your own risk. Let's go ahead and do a quick recap of all 5 brands. First, we had the Demant-owned Danish hearing aid brand Oticon. Second, the privately owned American brand Starkey. Third, we had the GN-owned Danish brand Beltone. Fourth, we had the Sonova-owned Swiss brand Phonak. And fifth, we had the WS Audiology-owned Danish brand Widex. Rest assured, if you live in Australia and you happen to get one of these 5 different brands of hearing aids from a vetted HearingUp provider, then you are virtually guaranteed to hear your absolute best with your hearing aids.